and Capricorn.
All right.
Okay.
Taking it all the way around here.
Yeah, we're making our way all the way around. So we have question of community and joy, and I'm actually going to
It's
go.
interesting because now we're getting to the point where like it's the reverse of what we talked about earlier, and it's so interesting
I know, I know. I'm
as we
going back
work
to
our
the
way
book.
around.
Exactly. So yeah, the door's open, kitty. Um, we have a question of community and pleasure, and we have, hold on, so sorry. I'm so sorry, Capricorn. So yes, so we have the question of community and we have the question of pleasure and how we seek pleasure. Is there an ending of how, or so there's been an increase intake and change around pleasure, and maybe a decrease in outward expression um, with friends and elements. So has a Venus and Scorpio element been cycling your friend circle? Is there an announcement from a friend circle as well? And I also have a message around Mars being in his joy. Mars being
Mm.
in his joy can be injurious and discordant as well. So
Oh, interesting.
yeah, so Mars being in his joy can sometimes bring physical injury, or just again similar to Sagittarius, themes of overwork and this warrior spirit. So I'm seeing that for Capricorn as well. So your ruling planet, Saturn, is in his domicile. This is good for your mental health and physical body. And he has been the taskmaster for you in the place of your self-worth. And um this theme of this lunation cycle for Capricorn, is it difficult for you to experience pleasure as well? So I'm
Mhm.
wondering, because there's this seriousness that Saturn ruled signs have, and with Pluto here, is there elements that have been coming up for you around who you are, and around this seriousness, especially if you have an ascendant degree that's in the later signs. So to bring everything together. Yeah, we were talking about themes of community and pleasure, and the changes that Uranus has been bringing, as well as the nodes. So there's an ending, and a process of a shift in how you experience pleasure and what that means, but also Mars being in its joy here in a Mercury ruled sign. And so this conversation between friends and the spirit of good friends and community, in line with Mars here. So is there some strife of sorts, or even a connection that is revealed during this next 6 months around work and hard work, and something injurious around friends? So these themes that are mingling together. Uh, Mars does not always mean injury, but again, this
Mhm.
this sense that you are like constantly on the workhorse, on the drive, and like going back over routines that you may have had, or oh, maybe I need to go back to that hard work that I was doing before. And so that, again, this hard work and how pleasure and influences of friends, and maybe there is maybe even an announcement in your community that has big influence on how you experience your your local neighborhood.
Mhm.
um so I'm wondering for you, Tabitha, if anything that I've said
Oh,
has
yeah,
brought
no,
any intuitive guidance.
different things as you were talking. Initially, when you were talking about, or maybe this wasn't even initially, but when you were talking about the communities and everything, I was thinking about turquoise again, and just helping to aid with this healing of relationships and smooth, harmonic, you know, interpersonal relationships and actions, which also, it's good. It has an affinity for the throat chakra as well, and just good for overall healing, um, balancing connection. And then I was thinking, when you're talking about the Mars energy and this like hard work, I was thinking of mahogany obsidian.
Oh,
It's protective, right? So like hopefully it'll help guard against some of those injuries and things like that. But also, and really even just with the eclipse energy, right? How sometimes we feel like drained and like depleted and lethargic, but like we still have things to do. It's really like a little battery, and helps us to power through like times where we might feel depleted or overworked. Like it gives us the energy to like complete the task at hand. And then kind of along both of those lines, there's a blend by Lotus Way. Lotus Way spelled Lotuswei. I didn't mention that earlier, but I thought that might help you to find it as well. um, they have a flower essence blend called Inner Peace, um, which I think just like being able to quiet down like during all that activity, and maybe there's like a lot going on, and you have like everything kind of like swirling in your head, to just like quiet down, to be able to, you know, discern. And maybe if it's something to do with the community and the relationships, maybe to like better understand that, or better understand like the matter at hand, by getting quiet and being able to center, maybe being able to sleep better, or just feel better. And it also has an affinity for the throat, since we've been talking about, that access between the throat area and the reproductive area.
oh yes, absolutely. And that plays into like the Venus joy that the moon is in as well. So the moon being eclipsed um also does affect your spouse, your like long-term relationships as well. So watching for themes of that, how that may be, and maybe if you knowing this with the information that we're giving you, if that is helpful in spreading that to other people in your life that may be assisted by it. So I'm curious for
Absolutely.
Capricorn and what card you may be pulling for them.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull some cards from the bestiary deck, or a card from the bestiary deck, which is another one of Maya Toll's books.
Oh,
But
that's
just
perfect because that's sixth house themes as well. I forgot to mention that sixth houses are domestic pets and animals.
oh, well, there you go. But I was gonna say too, just with what you're just mentioning about the relationships, like when we're centered and balanced and at peace, I was just going back to this inner peace blend again in my mind. It helps our interpersonal as well. Um, and the way to work with these essences, and again, follow your intuition. And if it doesn't resonate, like don't even go a different route with it. Maybe your route is color therapy or animal spirit work or what have you. But if flower essences, if you're intrigued and it seems to resonate with you, you're going to want to work with it for consistently. So typically it's like 4 drops 4 times a day. With Lotus Way, theirs are a little bit different because they make elixirs. So there's like include honey.
Mm,
So it has like a sweet taste to it. But theirs are 5 drops 5 times a day, but you want to work with them for like a full 30-day cycle. And you can work with them beyond that. But really to see like these shifts, it's essentially you're working with like programmed water that's then coming in and helping you to, in some ways, deprogram, like, to shed these programs that no longer serve you. So you don't want to just take them for like a day or two or like a week or like sporadically. I mean, there are some that you can take sporadically, like Dr. Bach's Rescue Remedy. Like if you're feeling like intense distress, like just take it then. You don't have to take Rescue Remedy like every day for 30 days. I mean, you can, but you don't have to. Inner peace, like for example, like if you're feeling really stressed, you can just take it then. But if you really want to see like a shift in the pattern, and like allowing some of these old patterns to fall away and adapting new ways of being, then I would say work with it consistently for 30 days. And then kind of evaluate, like, do you want to continue working with it or do you want to switch to something else?
Oh, yes, and this is an
My little,
invitation. Yeah. This is an invitation at this time to pick something to assist you during the the 30 days that happen after this lunation cycle as well. Like um this is jarring energy and unpredictable with this Uranian influence as well. So um, having an assistant that's on your side, and even if it's placebo, like in a way, like knowing that you're doing something for yourself as a self-care tool and
well, I
really
mean, placebo
offering.
work really is like working with intention, right? So it's like when
Yeah.
you do these like trials where people like go in and they're receiving the placebo drug, and then they're noticing these like physical changes. I think number one, like it's working with intention, but number two, just like the power of like the brain and our thoughts and our mindset to make physical changes in the body.
Yes,
um so like working with intention, I think, is very powerful.
absolutely. And
Mhm.
which card have you pulled for?
Yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong, the fifth house, does that also deal with like the past and our like ancestral lineages and things like that?
That would be, well, if the IC is floating, it could definitely. There's going to be people that experience root because it is close to the root.
Okay. For some reason, I was thinking, like I remembered it having like an association with like ancestral stuff, because the card that I actually pulled is the Asian elephant honor lineage.
Mm,
I don't know if that's,
very interesting.
yeah, see, there's like a little mountainscape over his forehead,
Oh yeah.
water coming out of the trunk. There are trees on either side. I'll see what else is in here. Oh, wow. I didn't see this before. There's like a little line. There's actually like a little lineage. There's a little line of elephants. And if you can see this, walking around the trunk. Like,
I love elephants. I just love that they keep to the pace of the slowest moving elephant, and they
mhm.
just like they're such a
Well,
community. Like they're
I
such a
was gonna say
community
they're so
animal.
family oriented. They're so family oriented.
Yeah.
And they have such amazing memories. I mean, they mourn their dead. They remember where their dead are buried.
I
There was
love that for Capricorn.
that gentleman that died, and if it was last year or the year before, that had worked with elephants in Africa, and they all, I don't even know how they knew that he died. It's got to be energetic. Like they all showed up at his house after he passed. Um, so yeah, like really amazing. But let's see if her book has any other little tidbits for us. Okay, so her ritual, it just gives different ways of honoring your lineage and working with your ancestral energies, whether it's photographs or exploring your DNA, tracing migration routes. And then the reflection is about losing control.
Hmm.
So it says the elephant has only a few teeth at a time. When the front teeth wear out, the back ones move forward to replace them. a new back teeth grow in their place. So symbolically, teeth are associated with control in your life. I guess like those dreams where like people lose their teeth and things like that.
Oh yeah, I've
So,
totally had those. Well, it's
oh,
interesting
have
too
you?
because that's definitely throughout my
Oh,
life.
I don't think I've ever had a dream where like my teeth fell out, but you do hear you hear about that. So
Well, Saturn is rules like those like teeth and bones and things like that.
mm,
So it's interesting
oh,
that
there's always a connection, right?
yeah.
Um, so the reflection questions, in case this is helpful to anyone, um, is it your nature to try to control the details of your life? How does this make you feel? And can you flow with life's uncertainties like elephant?
I love that message for Capricorn. I love that. The duty and the oh wow, yeah. I definitely love that. All right, so elephant energy we have for Capricorn, and so I'm going to move ahead for see if I can move ahead. Perfect. So we have Saturn